a major attack in Ukraine overnight. Officials there say Russia fired more than 650 drones and 36 missiles at Ukraine overnight and into this morning. At least 3 people were killed. ABC's Lama Hasan and ABC News national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy are joining me now. Thank you so much to you both. Lama, I want to start with you. Break down these details for us. How many of those missiles and drones made it through, and what were the targets?
Yeah. Hey, Stephanie. So yesterday we were talking about that car bomb that killed a senior Russian general in Moscow. And after Russia suggested that Ukraine was behind his assassination, well, we knew that Russia would somehow retaliate. And it did overnight with brutal force, as you say. President Zelenskyy described it as a massive attack. We understand that Russia launched at least 635 drones and 38 missiles across 13 regions. 587 of those drones were shot down. So most of them were intercepted, but some did hit homes and critically Ukraine's energy sector. So there are widespread power cuts, and power in some areas could be out for days. You know, Stephanie, we just spoke with the Ukrainian deputy minister of energy, who said that these were precise attacks on power lines to minimize the network's capacity, as well as to cause social instability and to have a complete blackout. Stephanie.
Yeah, and Mick, on that same note that Lama just hit, Moscow has really been ramping up the attacks on the energy infrastructure. We're just at the beginning of a long, cold winter. How does Ukraine prepare for this winter and the days ahead?
So that's a good question, Stephanie. It's clear that Russia is deliberately targeting civilians, trying to kill them actually. And of course, a lot of this energy infrastructure focus is to leave the power out during the winter, so to cause more pain to the civilian population, all directly against the law of armed conflict, I would say. But that's nothing new for Russia since the beginning of this effort. The Ukrainians, of course, would like to see much more air and missile defense brought into the country, the most advanced systems such as the Patriot. And that is what needs to happen. Both the U.S. and their European allies need to get these systems in as quickly as possible. They need to produce more. This is the face of modern warfare, massive amounts of drone swarms that are very difficult to intercept, all of them, and some of them usually find the target. So that's what they're going to be focused on, I believe.
And Lama, we've been talking about this for the last, couple of years. These peace deals, these attacks took place just hours after President Zelenskyy said the latest proposals for a peace deal looked, quote, quite solid. So what is the state of those talks?
Right, Stephanie. So there was this flurry of diplomatic activity over the weekend in Miami, and it sounds like the optimism is still there. President Zelenskyy this morning, he met with his negotiating team, and he said that several draft documents have been prepared following those talks over the weekend. He did say that the documents are focused on security guarantees for Ukraine, on the recovery, and also on a basic framework for ending the war. Now, we understand that they are expecting an answer from the Russians tomorrow on the 20-point peace plan. We have heard from the Kremlin. They've downplayed any real progress so far, Stephanie, saying that the talks cannot be considered a breakthrough.
And Mick, on that same note, what is President Zelenskyy trying to protect the most in these negotiations? Is there a red line for him? Can you break that down for us?
Sure. So the big issues now, of course, are real security guarantees. Ukraine had security guarantees, including from the United States, Russia, and the UK when they gave up their nuclear weapons in the 90s. And we can see that that did not matter. So they want to see troops on the ground, likely from France and Germany and the UK, the coalition of the willing. And they're going to have to see the United States really commit to an ironclad Article 5 type, so not going into NATO, but Article 5 type security guarantee alliance. The other issue is whether Ukraine will actually give up territory that hasn't been taken by Russia. So it's one thing to acknowledge that Russia has taken something militarily. It's another to give up territory that they fought so hard to preserve. That is going to be a big sticking point to get this over the finish line.
All right. Hopefully there is some sort of resolve soon. Lama Hasan and Mick Mulroy, thank you both.